Is there an acceptance of the words, or is it the experience of interconnecting, of the listening aspects of the speaker? When this body was knocked for 6, completely annihilated, completely dissolved in what they call Sat Chit Ananda, non-dual bliss, it found itself being pulled to specific things with no intent, with no wanting or desiring. It's as if life is just doing its own thing. You're on the wave of the ocean, and the wave in the ocean could do nothing to prevent itself from crashing against the beach. And the wave goes willingly, you see. The wave doesn't struggle to go in the opposite direction, because it knows it's part of something. In fact, it knows it's not a wave. It just is the ocean making shapes within itself. So one was taken to Jiddu Krishnamurti and David Bohm, and intent listening. But the speaker cannot remember any single discussion, any single word. Because within the words of Krishnamurti and Bohm, the speaker, whatever was remnant of the speaker, was pulled and pulled and pulled and sucked into the space between the words, between the connecting, between the beingness, like feeling as you're part of the triangle with a little ping. You don't see yourself as anything other than the movement of the experience. That's why it's very important for anyone who is on this journey to continue with this surrender, continue with just accepting what is taking place, and allow whatever is taking place in its true, genuine, providing you're on the right channel. But if you surrender to consciousness, life is going to take you completely on the right channel. So the magnetic pull of being inseparable, not from the forms of Krishnamurti and Bohm, not from the words of Krishnamurti and Bohm, but the presence, the complete presence of that space that neither is inseparable from that pure consciousness. Apparently this body went to 2 Muji satsangs. Again, no recollection of what was spoken, because there was no me. This body was forced, that it had already exploded before appearing some way on an aeroplane. Where am I going? Don't worry, says consciousness. You're going in the right direction. It's the presence of the beingness, not Muji, but the whole of silence. That beautiful, tranquil space between the worlds. And the reason for this is to tell you, in your mind quest, in your thought process, in your self-inquiring of this head mind, you're not trying to fight against these thoughts. Please do not attempt to battle these thoughts, to try and push them away, to try and ignore them. You let them be. Because there is a space between every thought. Same as there is space between an in-breath and an out-breath. Same as there is a space between the heart, neither going in nor out, that stopping point. We fear the stopping point because we assume that this is not a good place to be. We fear the stopping point of thoughts because it's like, I will be a dementia patient then. We fear the stopping point of the heart, meaning it's going to stop and then I'll be dead. And if it stops long enough, of course, that's going to happen. If the thought process stops long enough and there's no thoughts, you will experience this state of joy, but state of not knowing, amnesia, dementia. But to have faith in consciousness that is not going to take you to that place permanently. To have faith in the heart, which we don't worry every day and say, oh, please don't stop too long. Please continue. Breath. Oh, please don't. We don't think about our breath. We don't think about our heart. But we think desperately about our thoughts. Because they're not real. They're not keeping the body alive. The thoughts are separate from the body at all. The brain keeps the body alive. The whole system is communicating. The brain is saying to the heart, pump. The heart is saying to the kidneys, filter. The kidneys are saying to the pancreas, or I don't know. Don't take that food, take that food. Tell them not to take that food, tell them to take that food. The arteries are saying to the blood, no, not that thickness, not that type of blood, come on, change. So the brain then tells the mind, you need to look after your body. That comes as a thought. The thought is misinterpreted through a language of conditioned schooling, parenting, and life. Brain says to the mind, tell the mind, look after the body. Mind says, you're too fat. Misinterpretation from the mind to the ego mind, to that language, to that conditioned way, the thought comes in the wrong way. The mind is just saying, take care. Take care. The body's struggling. No, I'm too fat. And the brain goes, oh God, no more. And the liver and the kidneys, and they get together and say, whoa, we're going to have to change again. They're going to change the diet. They're going to change all this. What are we going to do? Well, we'll just have to move on. We'll have to continue because we love this that dwells within this body, that chose this body to be here fully. Trust the space. Don't allow that thoughts to go. But let them go. You see how difficult it is? What lets them go and what tries to keep them is the thought. Is another thought thinking it can control that thought? It happens in everyday life. Yeah? If you're convicted of some crime and you go to an interview at a police station, the policeman will say, the inspector will say, right, we want to get some specific thoughts from this one. We want to get the truth. So that thought is trying to control the other thought into saying what this thought wants that one to say. No comment. And that's self-inquiry. Thought comes, no comment. It's going. It's going. Oh, another one, no comment. Ramana says not this. Thought comes, not this. Thought comes about the thought that went past, not this. No comment. Thought comes about the thought, that initial thought that was witnessed, the second thought. How many thoughts? Huh, not this. No comment. No comment. No comment. This is self-inquiry. So many thoughts will come. So many phones will ring in the house. So many knocks on the door. Ego does not want you to escape. Ego does not want that space for you to fall out of and see ego from the other side as what it is. Ego is that character on the stage that changes its uniform. 1 minute it's the butler. Next minute it's the scientist. Next minute it's the murderer. Next minute it's the priest. Ego, you can't say it's a good cop or the bad cop, because when you say it's the good cop, it'll put on the bad cop uniform. If you say it's the bad cop, it'll put on the good. It loves to keep you from finding out what you're here to find out. Why? Because it's envious. It cannot find out what you can find out. It lives in that 7 sins, appearing as if it's the greatest thing on earth for you. Oh, my ego. Don't blasphemize my ego. It gave me this beautiful mansion. It gave me this fortune. It gave me this lovely family. It may have given you the mansion and the fortune, but something else gave you the beautiful family. Love. Love gave you the beautiful family. Consciousness, pure in its state, says, no, here, this is for you. This is a gift. This is not from ego. This is from God to help you continue to just be present, be aware, be loving, be grateful, be accepting, be trusting, and have faith that life is looking after you and your beautiful family. Until you suffer. Suffer the measuring world, the differentiating world, the competitive world, the preferential world, the opposing world of this and that, man and woman, black and white, rich and poor, left and right. This world is nonsense. It's a great game. I love playing Monopoly. But I know at the end, we're going to put the board away and get on with real life. We're going to put the board away. The money's not real. The houses and the streets are not real. The thing that you put round the thing is not real. The dice is not real. They're all just gimmicks. But it's okay. I like it. What's wrong with playing Monopoly? But the I is playing the game. The game is not playing me into saying, this is how you should be when this game finishes. This is what you should do with your life when this game finishes. This game of ego is a game. Life is not egoistic. Life is pure. The space. Trust in the space between the thoughts. You may never see it, but it will come in one moment when you're not aware. And when you disappear through it, and you see ego for what it is, and you squeeze your way back in. Or you allow ego to turn around and face you with that shame, that shameful look. You can forgive it, and you can take it back on. And the heart will continue to beat, and the breath will continue to breathe, and the thoughts will continue to come. But they won't come up here anymore and antagonize the brain trying to do its job. You'll see that the thought is one big thought, and it cannot be located. It cannot be located inwards nor outwards. The thought is God. There is only one thought. I exist. Consciousness is that one is. This thought develops into I am. That's the only thought you need. Can we control these particular types, this beautiful thought in our mind every day? No, because the mind has been conditioned into accepting every single thought, every single word, every single identity, every single language. So let them pass. No comment. Not this. And when they pass, and there's no more thoughts, God's going to test you and say, wonder how far this one will sit in this space without running away for fear of amnesia or dementia. I don't want a half-baked awakening. I want to see this one clearly. When you fall into the void, you don't look back up at the ego and see it for what it is on the other side. You always know what ego is. You just look God into the face through that door. And this smile releases you. And in one moment you're back. Clear head. Heart beating. Breath breathing. So purely, beautifully, cleanly. So content. No more measuring. No more needs of no comment every day. You begin to participate. And touch many people's lives without speaking a word, without thinking a thought, with no intention. Christ is within you, doing it all for you.